Okay, we're recording. Okay, so welcome to our Tuesday night team call. I am so excited about this call. You guys have no idea. I asked Kara to speak on this a few weeks ago, and I was like, just pick a date, any date. I'm so excited. So yay. So really quick before we get into what Kara has to share with us, I want to go over a couple of things team-wise. So to be mindset, please. This is like the most amazing program food-wise that I mean, it has changed my life in a matter of 10 days. Just the way I think about things, the way I think about going out to eat, not even through all the videos yet. And it's even like I just took a poll in one of the message threads that we have going on with some of my 2 beers, and they've all lost over 5 pounds in just a week. So I'm so excited. Lift 4, I think there's a sneak peek coming up next week, so be ready and mindful for that. Also, since it is coming out, start thinking about how your marketing plan is going to go. Start backtracking. Maybe have an interest group going. I know that we had an interest group going for 2B, and it turned out to be amazing. It was really awesome to have the excitement in there before it launched. So we have that. And then also check out that national wake-up call, y'all, because that was really good with Danielle and Tony. Okay, so that was my quick little announcements. Without any further ado, we have our 5-year coaching Kara, 5 years. She's a 5-star diamond in her first CBC and a 1-star diamond in her second CBC, 2016 elite coach. And I remember watching my newsfeed when she wrote her long post that like brought me to tears when she finally stopped. She left her law practice and pursued this full time, and also was able to be home to her 2 beautiful kids. So go ahead, Kara, take it away.
Yay, thank you, Erica. Well, I just want to thank you guys for having me on. I know that everybody's time is valuable, so I hope that there are some good takeaways for you tonight. I remember Trina Gray. That's somebody I try to emulate. If you get a chance, look up Trina Gray. She's a gym owner, very successful coach. She won the CEO award for Beachbody a few years ago. But I was watching one of her videos because I'm a geek and that's what I like to do. I like to learn from the best. And she said, you know, when you're on a live call or you're taking in a training, if there's 2 or 3 things that you take away that are significant to you, it can change how you think, and it can completely change your business. It can open your eyes up to things. So I just want you guys to have an open heart tonight. I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about my journey, my story, how I got here, some of the things I've learned along the way, and what I did to set my business up for success. So just because I don't know everybody on the call, just a little bit of background. Like Erica said, I've been coaching for over 5 years, completely got into this business by accident, completely kind of shut off my coach to the business side for about a year, okay? Was not hitting Success Club every month in the first year or so. So I say that because I think people come in and coaching is like a whole new world, and it's easy to get intimidated. And there's all these big shiny things, but I want you guys to know it took me a long time before I really approached this as a business and really saw what the ways in which I was able to change my life through coaching. So I want you to know that. I have 2 kids. My son Dominic is almost 10. My daughter Avery just turned 7. And I practiced law for almost 12 years. So like I said, Christina Delgado is my sponsor. I watched her for about a year and a half. Literally never liked her posts, never commented. She had no idea, but I was like, man, she's got it together. Look at her abs. How the heck is she doing this for a year and a half? And meanwhile, I'm doing my own thing. I run marathons, you guys. So I was running, I was active. That's me. I was an active person, but I sort of envied how she seemed to have it all together. We practiced law together, so I knew that she was commuting an hour a day each way. I knew that her son DJ had autism. I knew that she was a litigator, which means when she had cases, she was working 60 plus hours a week. And I saw her just really, I was focused on the health side in the beginning. I didn't really pick up on the business stuff, but I followed her for a year and a half. Eventually, when I got so discouraged with my own body, this was a year and a half after I had Avery, okay? I was about 40 pounds overweight. I said, I don't care what it takes. I'm just gonna try this thing Christina's doing. I'm over it already. I need to do something. So I was, let's see, my daughter was 18 months old. I was 40 pounds overweight. I was still wearing my maternity clothes. I was completely just hopeless. And I said, let me just try what she's doing. It seems to be working really well for her. And I remember buying my first bag of Shakeology as an anniversary present for my husband. Literally. If you guys know my husband, that's hilarious because he was like, what? This is the worst present ever. I'm like, happy anniversary, let's get healthy. You know, that was a huge investment for me, $130. So I bought Frank a bag of Shakeology for our anniversary. It was in October. And we did not do it the right way. We didn't have it every day. Like, we shared it. I was on and off with it, was not consistent. It wasn't until I enrolled as a coach that I became consistent with what we do as coaches and really started living the products, drinking Shakeology every day. And I felt like that was the step that I needed to take personally. Enroll as a coach, take this more seriously, take my own health more seriously, really get committed, really stay consistent. It wasn't until I signed up as a coach that I actually completed Insanity. And that's because I had put some skin in the game. Like, on some level, I knew, well, I need to finish this because I've signed up as a coach. And what if somebody's watching me? And what if I can inspire them? So I signed up as a coach for the discount because I loved Shakeology and it was working for me. And for about a year, I really just became a product of the product and documented my transformation. I documented my journey. And my business started very organically. People started coming to me. So I had friends from high school. I had sorority sisters that showed up out of the woodworks. And they said, can you help me? They said, you're inspiring me. And it was awesome. So for about a year, I did that as a hobby. It wasn't until I was almost diamond that I said, oh my gosh, like a light bulb went off that, man, this is really having an impact on people's lives. So it was about a year in when I hit diamond. First of all, my first two coaches that I signed up were Chrissy Pavlish, who's still a coach, my very first coach, and Melissa Ann, and they were both business builders. So I had some sense of like, okay, let me help them learn this a little bit. Let me learn it a little bit more. But it was when Jenny, and then a few months later, Melissa Alexander, who is Erica's sponsor, and then Lindsay Alexander enrolled. And it was at the point in which I knew that I had a few like motivated people who were like, okay, tell me what to do. That was when I said, oh my gosh, I have a duty, a responsibility, and an obligation to really understand how to help them reach their goals. I need to learn this business. And that was when I dove in and started going through all the trainings in the back office. You know, something a lot of people don't realize is we all have access to the same information, you know? And you guys are so blessed to have Erica as your fearless leader, because Erica was extremely impressive. Like from the very beginning, when she enrolled, I remember getting chills listening to Erica talk about her big goals and walking across the stage and the vision that she had for her business and for her life and for her family. So, you know, Erica was somebody from the very beginning too that really motivated and drove me because I wanted to do a good job for her. I wanted to lead by example and kind of just learn this business inside and out so I could help these awesome, amazing women get what they wanted. That was a big motivating factor for me in the beginning. So let's see. Yeah, so the light bulb went out when there were a couple people that were like, okay, yeah, this sounds fun. What do I do? And I'm like, oh, let me figure it out. And so I started doing the scary things. And for me, that was running trainings, really learning the business inside and out. How do we hit Success Club? What are the vital behaviors? More than likely, you know, if you guys are on this call,
You understand that the vital behaviors are that you need to be a product of the product, that you are constantly improving yourself through personal development. More on that, because that's really important. That's been a really big part of my journey. You're recognizing your challengers. If you don't have a team of coaches, hey, that's okay. Are you helping people in the challenge group get results? Are you committed to them? Are you encouraging them? Are you leading by example? Are you instilling belief in them, and sharing with them why it's so important to drink Shakeology and the benefits that you've received and all of that. So, I think you guys have a good grasp on the vital behaviors probably. But I know one thing that was really scary for me was the first webinar. First, like coach sneak peek. Now we do them in groups a lot of times. But I remember being so terrified. And because one of the problems that I had throughout my journey as a coach was just overthinking everything. I'm a lawyer, I'm analytical. I would talk myself out of things. I would just convince myself that whatever live video I was going to share would not be of value to anybody. So might as well not even do it, right? I overthought everything. But I remember one of the things that makes me feel better when I'm doing something that makes me nervous is to be prepared. And so I watched three or four business opportunity calls and webinars. So I felt extremely prepared. I had notes and notes and notes, and I spent hours on that. And I remember messaging Christina and saying, I'm just so nervous. Like, what if nobody shows up? And she said, who cares? She thought that was such a ridiculous thing to think. She's like, who cares? It's just practice. Like, this is you getting your feet wet. You need to do this. You have to show your team. You have to make this available to your team. And so it was little things like that that got me out of my comfort zone earlier on. And then each time I did those scary things, whether it was going live or sharing something really vulnerable about myself that I've never talked about, those kind of things. Every time I did it, it got easier, I promise. And I got better every time I did it. I became more, and it was more like a comfort level than anything else. You will be uncomfortable. Like, if you're not uncomfortable, then you're not going big enough with coaching. You have to be brutally honest with yourself about what you want for yourself, and you have to know that you are deserving of that. The bigger your goals, the better. I remember another mistake I made, and I'm sharing with you the things I did right and the things that I've learned that I could have done better. Like, it took me a long time to get going because I wasn't doing these things, but I would set like really tiny goals that were so comfortable. And what I've realized is the larger your goals are, the harder you're going to work and the closer you're going to get. So you cannot be afraid of setting big goals for yourself, because what that will do is that will inspire the people around you. That's going to inspire, if you've got a team of coaches, that's going to inspire them. It's going to inspire your teammates. It's going to inspire all the people that are watching you. And I promise you guys, if you are publicly documenting your journey and you're sharing about your workouts, people respect that, and they're watching you. You might not get the likes. A good lesson that I learned pretty early on is, and something I think I did well early, was I did not care about recognition. I was not at all focused on how many likes I got. I wasn't focused on who commented. I was just happy if anybody commented, and I was genuinely thankful and told them that, and those were the people that I knew were getting value out of what I was putting out on my page. And so I think that's one thing I did well early on, was I wasn't all caught up in likes and, comparing myself to other coaches. Another funny tidbit, I started right after Katie Green. I don't know if you guys know Katie Green, and just before Danielle McKean. So if you guys know those coaches, they're extremely successful coaches. So they blew me out of the water for the first couple of years. They were extremely successful. I remember Danielle McKean. She was a 6-figure earner within 2 years, if I had been so focused on all of their accolades and these huge teams they were building early on, I don't know if I'd be here today. Because if I compared myself to them, maybe I wasn't successful. Maybe I wasn't having enough of an impact. That's the mind tricks you can play on yourself. So you really have to focus on what it is that you want, what's important to you, why you were here, like what you want out of this, and then focus on that, build that. Okay, so let's see, a couple of tips. And I want to let you guys know if you have any questions about anything, if you think of a question while this call is happening, I am an open book, so don't hesitate to ask. But the number one thing that I think I did well from the beginning was that I did not hesitate to invest in myself, okay? Even though this did not register as a business opportunity, okay? You guys, this did not register as an income earning opportunity. I was thrilled if my income covered the cost of Shakeology. That was totally worth it for me. I was like, oh my gosh, $50. Like, I got excited whether my paycheck said 0 or whatever my paycheck said in the very beginning, because it was helping me. It was changing my life. And so from the very beginning, I did not hesitate to invest in myself. And what that means for me was hopping on team calls. So give yourselves a round of applause, because you guys are the ones here investing in yourselves. These are the kinds of things that really paid off for me. I listened to all the Diesel Nation calls. I was always there. Now, I signed up in early April, so I did not go to Summit the first year because I was a baby coach. I had no idea. The next year, I did not hesitate to sign up for Summit. You know, like, even though it was a sacrifice, even though I wasn't making a lot of money as a coach, I deemed that as something that I could not miss, because I knew it would help me grow and learn and get better as a person and get better as a coach. And I knew that I would take away valuable skills and concepts that would help me be a better coach. And ultimately that would pay off. And so I didn't hesitate to go to Summit. I've been to Summit every single year. And the second year I went with my best friend, Christy, who's still a coach, Christy Rivero. The first year, went to Vegas. It was small, right? That was back when it was small. The next year, I had 3 coaches there. And then the next year, and then the next year. And like last year, what did we have? Like 40 or something? It was insane. But I mean, I don't think you can ever ask anyone to commit to something that you're not committing to. And think about that. Really think about that. When it comes to your own fitness journey, when it comes to anything you do as a coach, how can you ever ask anyone to do something that you're not committed to? And so I just had that desire early on. You know, I wanted to do a good job for other people, honestly. I wanted to lead by example and do my very best to empower other people to do the best that they could do. And I'm talking about in challenge groups. I'm talking about, you know, really helping people find belief in themselves, really helping people see that they could do this. And, you know, I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but I think it's really important to share the highs and lows on your wall, but especially in your challenge groups, because I think people see this as intimidating, and they see it from the outside. They don't know if they can do it because they look at you as the superhuman. So you have to share with people your struggles, and hopefully you see that from the coaches on our team. You see that they share their highs and lows. They share the things that are challenging to them. You know, I don't think we should put people up on pedestals. I mean, I always felt like Christina and Amy Coppola and Monica Lopez, those women helped me to dream bigger, for sure. But they also shared the things that were hard for them. And that gave me courage to share the things that were hard for me. And so when you're able to share the things that are a struggle for you, or that you have not yet mastered, and you're able to be brutally honest about that, to the people on your page and in your challenge groups, that helps them. You are so much more relatable, and that helps them see that they can get past whatever they are going through. And so that's a really important lesson in my challenge groups. And, you know, even with our team page, I try to share the things that I'm definitely still working on, because we're all just real, you guys. We're all humans. Most of us are moms. We're busy. You know, we want to show people, regardless of where they are in their lives, that they can work to make progress, and that you, most importantly, are there to cheer them on. So I took full advantage of all the resources. I was on team calls. I was at Summit. I went to every Super Saturday. You guys, in 5 years, I have missed 3 in 5 years. And we have them 4 times a year. One was a marathon that I had scheduled over a year in advance. So, I mean, I signed up for a marathon in Disney, Erica. And then the last one, we were at the Masters. I forget what the second one was. But yeah, I think you have to go to live events. I think you have to be willing to learn and grow and go to trainings and immerse yourself into our culture to really understand what this opportunity, how it can change your life, to fully understand it. So that was something I did from the very beginning. I had a thirst for knowledge. I wanted to grow. I wanted to learn. I wanted to get better. You know, I didn't back off from that. And so just for some context, because, okay, the girls that know me a little bit better, you've probably heard this, but my husband was not on board with coaching in the beginning. Surprise, surprise. So it was really tough. As a practicing attorney, I had my own law practice. I was billing clients out $250 an hour for law work. So I remember I would get off a GSR, a Getting Started Right call with a brand new coach, so excited for this person, you know, and I would come downstairs just excited and bubbly, and he would say, Kara, this is literally what he would say. You did not earn $40 right now. You just cost us $210 with that hour. That's what he would say to me. Okay, that is what I was dealing with. He did not understand. He was not supportive. Guess what helped him get supportive? Losing 40 pounds on the 21-day fix and drinking Shakeology, getting his blood pressure down, buying into the process, putting some skin in the game, and experiencing this for himself. So, you know, I mean, having Frank's support has obviously been huge. Another quick story, because again, for the first year and a half, 2 years, he did not get it, you guys, and it was tough. It was a struggle, and I want you to know, many of us have this struggle where our spouses aren't necessarily, they don't quite get it, right? And so it was about a year and a half into my business. I'm a diamond at this point. It's our anniversary. Again, this always seems to happen on our anniversary. And I still didn't quite understand everything with this business, but I knew I was a diamond. And Christina had been talking about a qualification, right? She had been talking about that. And I knew she was trying to qualify for something big. I knew my status impacted her in some way. I didn't really quite understand the details. But I was going to drop rank. And so really what rank is, you guys, is you have to have so many active coaches. And I remember it was our anniversary and I was crying because I thought I was going to let her down because I was going to drop rank. And Frank, I think at that moment he realized, wow, this is really important. This matters to her. He actually got on the phone with a friend who had been using Shakeology. He'd been using our products and had already lost 20 pounds in 21 days. This insane. He's one of our discount coaches. But he talked his friend into enrolling as a discount coach that day to save my rank. So I think that was a big moment for him where he saw this is important to her. And so again, I'm talking my own personal story, a big motivating factor for me in the beginning was I knew people were counting on me. Now, as it turns out, I'm in Christina's second business center. Okay, so once you have a lot of success and you become a 2-star diamond, which means you help 2 people achieve the rank of diamond, you get to replicate yourself and open up another business center, which is awesome. I'm in Christina's second business center. She was qualifying in her first, did not even matter after the fact, but I think it just showed him that it was important to me. And you know, I think it opened his eyes up to what I was doing, you know. So I think that was, you know, that was a big moment for us. Let's see. The second tip is, and I think I've already touched on this a little bit, but you really got to figure out why you're here and get crystal clear on what you want in your life. And then you have to be able to look at how Beachbody can help you achieve those things. Because whether it's time freedom, if it's income, if it's paying down debt, if it's being able to pay for your kids' sports activities, if it's helping to reduce the grocery bills, like for the first year, it was paying, well, I can't say that. I would say about 8 to 10 months in and beyond, it was paying for our groceries. It was $300 to $400 a month. And that was major. That was major. I still, early on for the first few years, didn't have a crystal clear vision, but I knew that I wanted to help other women reach their dreams, whatever they were. And so, again, that was the big thing that motivated me. Now, something that can help you with figuring that out, because that can be cloudy for a lot of us. And if you don't know where you're going, you aren't going to do the work to get there. And also, you're going to stop when it gets tough. And there are going to be things that happen in this business that disappoint you. Okay. This happens to every single one of you, every single one of us. I'll give some examples. You're going to have a coach with all the potential in the world who quits. They don't even let you know. That's a bummer. If you have so much, you have high hopes for people, they don't quite get it yet. And that is not your fault at all. And that's okay. It's something that happens to all of us. There are other things that are going to happen. This business continues to evolve. And so what coaches were successful doing 2 years ago has now shifted some. And you've got to be able and be willing to evolve with social media and learn and grow and refine yourself and the methods of how you do things and how you reach people. Figure out why you're here, make it crystal clear, share it with everybody who will listen. A vision board. I don't know if you guys have done vision boards. There's tons of YouTube videos on that. But I think it's really important that you have a clear vision in your head of what you want out of this to keep you going. Okay, the third thing is, again, this was something that I did in my business, but as soon as you have one person who is driven and motivated and listening to you, that is your path to go all in. That is, you've got somebody who's on board. And at that point, how I see it is, it's your duty, responsibility, and obligation to do your best to empower them. Okay? It's not about being perfect. It's not about, making perfect fitness videos. It's about just showing up every day, doing your best, not giving up, and understanding, even giving yourself grace when you need to. If you're going through a rough season, sharing about that, that sharing about that stuff is actually extremely liberating, and it's also very therapeutic. It can help you grow through it. So it might be a little counterintuitive, because if you've got something private that, maybe it's not showing yourself in the best light, it's hard to share. It's you getting vulnerable. Sharing those things that's actually the thing that sets you free. And it really, truly is very therapeutic. And that's when you find your tribe, honestly, is when you share those kind of things that are really hard to share. So as soon as I had that one driven, motivated person, I did the scary stuff. I forced myself to do the scary stuff. Live videos, you know, for you, the scary stuff right now might be a video of fitness, like you showing yourself working out. That might be really scary for you. You gotta do it. Those are the things that are gonna help you comfortable and get more eyes on what you're doing and really watching your journey. And know also that you might not know that you have that one driven, motivated person yet, because you have not planted that seed with them and you have not extended that invite with them. Okay, think about that. Like you might have somebody who's hanging on to every single thing you do and say. Think of it that way. If you've got somebody and like you have the ability to change their life and you haven't personally messaged them yet and you don't necessarily know yet, how would you act on your page? You're going to want to show up and be your best every single day. And hopefully you reach out to them, because that is what we are given the power to do with coaching, is we really do have the power to help people change their lives. Okay, so let's see. I want to talk a little bit about personal development, just because I think it's the one area that coaches probably ignore the most, and I actually think it's the most important. Each and every single one of us has the ability to reach whatever goals we want. There is no dream too big. When you're a coach, you can use this as a vehicle, but you have to be willing to work on yourself. You have to be willing to grow and learn. And so that 10 to 15 minutes a day that Beachbody encourages us to do, I've read tons of books. I've read dozens of books over the past years. I've done lots of live training. One of the most life-changing courses I did was Unleash the Power Within, which is a 4-day event with Tony Robbins. And I wouldn't have even known about it or known how amazing and impactful it was if I hadn't listened to Amy Kopla. She would always share about it, and I was just so fascinated. I was like, man, I gotta get to Unleash the Power Within, no matter what. And it took me like 2 years, but I went and it changed my life, and I'm continuing to do it. Personal development doesn't have to be expensive. It's actually really cheap. There's a ton of amazing content on YouTube. Some of my favorites are Tony Robbins, Les Brown. There's a million. Hal Elrod. You guys, I would highly suggest Miracle Morning. If you haven't read that, Miracle Morning for Network Marketers changed my life. And so it's like embedded in me now, the savers. And just, you know, what Hal basically researched for many years was, what do the most successful people do? Like, what is their morning ritual? What do they do every day that helps them be the most successful, the most productive, so their mindset is right? And they all do like a combination of the savers, which I'm not going to get into all of it, but you want to read up on Hal Elrod, you can Google it, you can go to Pinterest and learn about that. So when Beachbody talks about the 10 to 15 minutes, it's because I think something like 90% of, and I'm going off memory, so it's, but the vast majority of millionaires, that is something very consistent that they all do, is they all read books, they all go to trainings, you know, so you want to constantly be working on yourself. The books are simple, you guys. They're, you know, find a topic that you are genuinely interested in. Has everybody read Girl, Wash Your Face? Yeah, Girl, Wash Your Face is a really good one. My particular challenge was just mastering my schedule, time management. I think that's a really big piece for most coaches, whether you're a seasoned coach or you're a brand new coach. Like, you got to figure out how to fit this business into your life and to make it work, because you've got a side hustle. Most of us are working full time. You've got your children and your family and their activities. And if you spend that one focused hour, you know, you can build. That's what I did in the beginning. I was running a full-time law practice. I had cases, I had clients, but I would check in with my groups, my challenge groups in the morning, and then in the afternoon, and then in the evening. And I loved on them, and I believed in them, and I shared what I was doing. I mean, the business is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. It is you working to better yourself and sharing what you're learning and believing in people and encouraging people. Now, I'm going to hop back to the fourth vital behavior, the inviting part. Because you guys might be doing awesome at publicly documenting your journey, and you are living the products and you've lost weight. But man, if you aren't doing the behind the scenes stuff and really noticing who's noticing you, then you're missing out, because it takes a long time. It's like I said, I watched Christina for a year and a half and never liked any of her posts, never commented, never said, tell me more, I was just watching. And a lot of people are just going to be watching. One of my diamonds, Kate Goring, we went to high school together. We were good girlfriends. She never posted or she never liked anything. And one random time I posted about a business opportunity call that I was doing, and she said, you know what, I think I'll listen in. And I'm like, really? Oh, okay. That's out of nowhere. And that was awesome. And then she enrolled, and she is one of my diamonds. So you never ever know who you could be impacted. You never know who you could be inspiring by sharing your truth authentically, being brutally honest. It starts with being brutally honest with yourself, okay? And understanding we all have these beautiful gifts inside us, okay? You have strengths, you have some weaknesses, but most of the time we're too hard on ourselves, and we let that voice prevent us from blossoming, and so that's what the personal development will help you with. It'll help you realize there isn't any skill you can't learn that a successful coach does, right? Whether it's leading or social media. That's probably one of my biggest weaknesses is the social media side. So I have to invest time in understanding, how all of that works. So a few weeks ago, I was at this Achiever Summit because, like I said, I invest my time into going to personal development trainings and seminars. It doesn't have to be just Beachbody. This was not Beachbody related, but I went to an achievement seminar in Fort Lauderdale, and I got to hear 4 hours of Tony Robbins, which was amazing. But we also got to hear from Gary Vee. How many of you know who Gary Vee is? Hopefully most of you, right? So if you know Gary Vee, he's extremely entertaining. He drops a lot of F-bombs, like he does not care. He's very effective. He was my husband's favorite speaker at Summit, whenever he spoke 2 years ago, I think. And I remember him saying, he's like, if just one person listens to me, then it's worth it, because that one person is going to end up being a millionaire. And that's why I'm here. Is I'm here to get through to that one person. And that's what I want you guys. That's the mindset I want you guys to have. And what Gary Vee hammered into us is that we need to be willing to invest and spend a little bit of money on ads. Again, if you are at the point where you're building a business and you have a like page, and you may not be there yet, okay? For 4 years, I was able to work and build from my warm market, okay? I'm really just diving into building a like page and those kind of things. If your budget is even teeny tiny, let's say your budget is $15 or $20 a month, he said, you need to be willing to invest a little bit now before all of the advertisers on TV catch on that nobody watches their commercials and they start advertising on Facebook, okay? That was like his main point. And so the investment, the majority of it is your time and figuring out where you can squeeze the pockets of time in to grow your business, to work on yourself, and to really begin to build an income and build a team. The other piece, once you've got a little bit of a team and you're building the like pages, be open to figuring out a way, and you can do this through your commissions or through the residual income you're earning as a coach, to invest a little bit in those ads because they're going to get more expensive in the next year to 2 years. And at some point, we're going to be priced out. And so these are the kinds of things we have to think about as business owners. We have to work smart and we have to stay ahead of the curve. And so that was one of the things that he shared with us a few weeks ago. So yeah, and I don't know if you guys, some of you may or may not be on the No Limits Fitness team page, but we had the honor to hear from John Acuff, totally buying his finished book. He's awesome. You can follow him. I know he's got a great podcast. He's a great Instagram follow. The guy is so charismatic and funny. But he hopped on our team page today, and I loved when he said, let me see where it is. Where is it? Oh, I said, because I asked him specifically, what does personal development and investing back in yourself and reading books, what does that do? He said it makes your world bigger. And it's so true. The more trainings I did, the more books I read, I realized I could do this. I realized that most of the stuff that was holding me back in my mind was stuff that I had made up, just stories I had been telling myself for years. Insecurities, fear of failure, doubts that I have. And so the personal development, more than anything, gets you over all of those hurdles. When you begin to do that and you are not afraid to get out there and share your story and be brutally honest, first with yourself and then with everybody around you, when you're brutally honest and share authentically, you empower other people. You give other people permission to do the same thing. And so I cannot emphasize that enough. I just want us to, and I'm going to take any questions you might have, but I want you to think about, really, really think about what this business can do for you. Because again, in the beginning, I did not enroll as a coach to earn an income. But when you think about the impact you can have in somebody's life, just because you're brave enough to share your workout, to share what you struggle with, to show, look what I'm doing, you can too. To have that message, you guys, that changes people's lives because they begin to have that belief in themselves, and they will begin to see over time, I'm not going to say it's overnight, it might be half a year, it might be a year before that particular person is ready to come to you. But when you are bold enough to put yourself out there like that, people will watch, they will appreciate it, you will inspire them, and you can help change their lives. And I remember in the beginning, it was, man, if I could help somebody lose 20 pounds, how would that change their life? And how would that make me feel about what I was doing for them? That gave me so much significance. I had cases where, I sued the city of Fort Lauderdale. I help people with loan modifications, pro bono, where I would volunteer my time and help them get loans so they could stay in their homes. Nothing gives me the fulfillment and nothing was the feeling of the rewarding feeling that came from helping a mother realize she could do it, right? That is special. And then broaden that a little bit further. What if you can help one of your friends or somebody who's following you pay their grocery bills through coaching? They're going to lose weight, and then they have the ability to earn an income. I really think that, I don't think we talk about the business enough. I know I don't, but I want to challenge all of you to really think about the impact that you can have just by being bold, just by being willing to be brave, and try every day and to keep showing up and to never give up and to share your story and to extend that invitation to people, because it really is special. There is no other business like what we offer, you guys. Yes, there's a ton of other MLMs out there. There are. But guys, I don't get excited and cry over, Lash Boost. I'm sorry, right? There's no other business I ever would have even considered being a part of. It's what Beachbody stands for. It's true transformation. It's, watching people like Tu Lin Emre, and Brigitte Linford. You guys should know those stories, because that was really what opened my eyes up in the beginning to what this could be, not only for me, but for so many other people. So other than that, you guys, honestly, I'm here to tell you I'm just a normal gal. I have had plenty of hangups. I had plenty of insecurities. I want you to know that you can do this, and that the possibilities really are endless. Use coaching as a vehicle to create the life that you want for yourself.
Kara, I loved it. I was like going to Kara church. Amazing. Tons of notes. Seriously, girl, you just rock that. We have a question from Kate. Do you use Instagram to grow your business too, or mostly Facebook ads? How have you been able to reach your cold market the best?
Okay, great question. For every coach, there's going to be a different answer, okay? Like I said, I am still able to hit Success Club primarily through my warm market. Now, my warm market means I am actively adding friends, right? Friends of friends. I just moved, right? So when I moved a year ago, I had a new group of mom circle people. I had teachers. I had, we joined a new baseball team. And so I've gotten to know all of those ladies and then their friends. And so I have continually and consistently added to my friend list. But me personally, I still get my Success Club points primarily from my warm market. Same with Lori Model. Lori Model, but another thing you'll notice, if you look at Lori Model's, I don't know if you can see the number of friends, but what she has done is things like, gone onto the alumni network and, joined certain mom groups that are specific to your interests, right? And made friends that way. And so they're kind of sort of, they really are cold, but then you friend them. So I think my focus is Instagram. Just because, and I'm really focused on growing Instagram. I share a lot to my Facebook like page, but my Facebook like page is pretty underwhelming. I haven't quite, mastered that yet and grown it. And so my focus is getting more followers, engaging with people who are my kind of people, focusing on, following people who I think would be a great addition to my team, who are like me. And really getting crystal clear on my brand and my avatar. My avatar is a professional woman, probably somebody who's gone to undergrad and then some kind of postgraduate work. My avatar is also sports moms and baseball moms and stuff. So I try to speak specifically to those people. But yeah, I love Instagram. I think it's a great way to connect with people and to find people all over the country. And that's what I'm focusing on. So I'll do at least one promotion a week there. And it kind of goes up and down, guys. I'm not a finished product. I'm still mastering what my business plan is and how I use Instagram. But I will tell you one thing that I decided with my life coach, because I know how important your followers are, is I have to add 20 quality followers every single day and then engage with them. So that's one thing I do on Instagram, is I follow 20 women that I want to work with every single day. Because usually when you follow, a lot of times they'll follow back, but I don't just follow them, I engage on their page and actually read what they are posting about and try to add value and, be supportive and be myself. So that's one thing I'm doing.
Thank you. Does anybody have any more questions?
Hit me up.
Okay, I have one. So I remember you went to Vegas and you guys did this awesome photo shoot and you did all of these coaching opportunity calls with that photo shoot pictures. And I was like, oh, and then I was all nervous about doing coach opportunity calls too. So what are your, do you do them weekly, monthly? What do you do to enroll and find new business builders?
Okay.
By the way, the photo shoot was in Nashville.
Oh, it was in Nashville?
Yeah, it was in right, because we did Nashville 2 years.
Oh yeah.
Vegas was just Christy and I. In the beginning, what my goal was every single month. And so if you ever listen to Melanie Mitro's calls, she kind of has them at the same time every month. And so I like the idea of a funnel into a coach sneak peek. And I like the idea of doing them towards the end of the month. So you have a pipeline of people to invite to that you've been working with from your challenge groups. You've already hit Success Club, hopefully, and then you're inviting. I try to do them every single month. This is an area where I've slacked a little bit just because we have so many incredible leaders on No Limits Fitness. And again, in the beginning, I felt that obligation to lead from the front and make sure that I was hosting that. And now there are probably at least 10 to 12 women that do them. And sometimes I piggyback with them. But I think a good goal is to do one monthly. And I think you have to be willing to try new things. For a long time, we did webinars, and I love talking for 45 minutes. I try to shorten them. But it's kind of evolved into a sneak peek group where there's a series of short live videos. And I like that because it's 3 to 5 minutes, covering different important topics and showing them images, and they can just pop in and out whenever they want. And I love the live webinar where you have 4 people on live. I just think, anything over 30 minutes is tough for people who don't really know much about the business yet and, have a lot to do. They might not be willing to make that time commitment for 45 minutes or an hour off the get-go. So you got to switch it up.
Awesome. Thank you. One more question from Kate. How many invites do you do a day, or did you do a day in the beginning to hit Success Club?
Okay. Again, my business in the beginning for about a year was people coming to me. That was just, honest, like organic. People literally just, hey, can you help me? And so, and I would help them. And so I was not consistent with that. But again, I think that the social media environment has changed. That is not going to work today. What I did, the way my business was built 4 years ago is not, you have to be deliberate. You have to be intentional. So Jeanette Masada, Arlene Pino, and Amy Coppola and I do a power hour. And you guys, I had a lot of rhythm and momentum when we were doing this consistently. And so what I would encourage you guys to do is team up with 1 or 2 people, or Erica could lead it as a team, and I can share with her what we do. But I think consistently showing up for that power hour, I do at least 10 invites, at least 10. But there's an ebb and flow to it. So it depends on where we are in the month and what I'm focused on. And there's different layers to this business. But I'd say you got to have that power hour, and a large portion. I remember Bonnie Engel saying a few years ago, and I think this holds true, like 50% of all the time, whatever time you spend, 50% should be connecting with people privately, messaging them, building relationships, inviting people, planting seeds, following up. 50% needs to be inviting. You are reaching out to people, and building a connection and building a relationship and inviting them to be part of your challenge group. So that needs to be a large part of any time you spend on coaching.
Any more questions? Thank you so much. Kara, it's 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock. But
I hope I didn't bore you.
No, I could sit here for like another 2 hours. Just be like, teach me. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I want to take a quick pick. So if you are on, let's get your smile ready, girlfriend.
Thank you guys for being
on. There's the faces. Pam, yes. Okay. All right, y'all. Smile big. Yay. All right. Thank you, guys.
I moved. Can you take one more? Sorry.
One more. Get it? Did you get it? Or you want me to get it? You didn't. Oh, you got it? Okay, good. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.